Black people get killed for crossing the street. They get killed for reaching for the wallet. They get killed for playing with a toy gun on their porch.
Keep it 100, I be feeling like Campbell soup over white rice, baked chicken with the skin on, yeah, Lowry's with black pepper, I'm fully seasoned with laughter.
What's good, 100%ers? It's your boy Dre, and welcome to my channel. Keep it 100, Dre. So, cops in California, they shot a homeless black man for jaywalking. So, I'm not going to play the video of what happened because it's extremely disturbing to watch. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the article, and I'm going to post the link so you can watch the entire video if you like, which is in the article. So take a look at this article. New video shows California cops fatally shoot black man after jaywalking stop. A new video shows the fatal shooting of a black man after homeless outreach deputies stopped him up for jaywalking in California last year. The 12-minute clip, a combination of dashcam, cell phone, and surveillance footage, shows two Orange County Sheriff deputies watching 42-year-old Andras Reinhold on a sidewalk in San Clemente from their police cruiser. "Watch this, he's going to jaywalk," one of the cops says as they pull up to Reinhold. The other responds, "Don't make case law." When the pair gets out of their cruiser to approach the man, the dashcam footage doesn't capture the interaction, but one of the cops can be heard asking, "Are you going to stop, or are we going to have to make you stop?" "For what?" Reinhold responds. "For jaywalking," the officer answers. "What are you talking about? I'm walking," and irritated Reinhold shoots back. The man then calls the claim ridiculous and tells the officer to stop touching him. Cell phone video captured by a witness from across the street shows the cops attempting to direct Reinhold back to the sidewalk. The clip then shows the cop arguing and an increasingly aggravated Reinhold before tackling him to the ground. At one point during the struggle, one of the cops yelled, "He got my gun," prompting the other deputy to open fire, according to the department. Two shots can be heard in cell phone footage. According to KTLA, cops previously released a still photo from the September 23rd incident showing Reinhold's hand near the gun, but it was unclear if he unholstered the gun. The Orange County District Attorney's Office is still investigating the shooting, the outlet reported. So this entire incident happened last year, and it just got released. Footage of the incident just got released this year. So police, they murdered an innocent homeless black guy for jaywalking. Can you say we're surprised? And it's always another bad apple. This guy's just a bad apple. So again, as I do in every single police brutality video that I do, let's say the rest of that quote. One bad apple spoils the entire bunch. So you gotta throw the apples away. And the apples are the system. The entire system is dirty. The police are corrupt and terrible people. And you know something I find really funny? The police officers in some of the most liberal cities in America, or states, California, New York, Baltimore, Illinois, they're like the worst police in the entire nation. And that's some stupid person when I said whether it's covert racism of the liberals or the overt racism of the conservative, racism just isn't okay. And this woman, she said, "Oh no, I'd much rather have the covert racism of the Democrats who are okay with stop and frisk, who are okay with, who signed and wrote the crime bill, who put more blacks in prison than the Republicans have done. It was a Democratic president that put more blacks in prison than any other president in history. It was a Democratic president that also deported the most immigrants of any president in history. They'd rather that covert racism, that stabbing in the back while smiling in your face, than the overt racism of the Republicans, who just shoot you in the face. And I said, I'd rather not be stabbed or shot. Racism isn't cool either way. And I told her my experience of my being cop putting a gun to my face when I just came from the store when I was about 15 years old. And then something similar happened just 6 months later when I was at the park playing basketball. And she said, oh, she'd much rather prefer that racism than the racism you see of the Republicans and Trump. That's complete foolishness. Racism is bad no matter what. No matter what's going on, racism is always terrible. But she's okay with the Democratic racism than the Republican racism. It seems like a lot of people are as well. Could you point out the racism of the Democrats? They want to toss it under the bus. They want to ignore it. But Republican racism, it's bad. Because the Republican racism, you can't ignore. That's the only thing that was good about the Trump presidency. A lot of racism couldn't be ignored. Except the Democratic, apparently. The Democratic racism, the racism that goes on in Democratic cities are fine. Just not in the Republican cities. Or states, the counties. Only when they say bad things, that's the worst. But when black men are being shot simply because they're jaywalking and homeless, that's okay. It's okay to a lot of people. The police were even taunting him. They said, are you going to stop? Or are we going to make you stop? Or are we going to have to stop you? Who says that to someone jaywalking? Every single person has jaywalked. Every single person. If you are someone that crossed the street ever in your life, you jaywalked. Would you be okay with you, your mom, your dad, your kid being shot for walking across the street? No, but it's okay when a black man is shot for walking across the street. And he was homeless. He already had it tough already than to be murdered for just crossing the street. So when people ignore the racism that happened in the Democratic cities, you're only making things worse for yourself. Of course, you're making things worse for the minorities, but you're making things worse for yourself. Because once you're okay with decreasing their standards of living, you're okay with their standards of living being complete trash, they're going to also lower your standards of living. That's why wages in this country has gone down every single year. Income, wealth, and equality is much worse. Not just for black people, but also for white people. Because you're okay with very minimal living standards for minorities. So you're willing to accept less. You're like, oh, at least I'm better than what the minorities have, what the minorities face. So you're always going to get less and less. So you people who are like that, you should be pro Black Lives Matter. You should be willing to fight with the people who are going through everything they're going through because of their skin color, their gender, their race, whatever. Because if you're willing to accept this happening to the people on the bottom, your ceiling's going to get lower. Your floor is also going to get lower. Because you're always going to look at it as, oh, at least I'm not experiencing what they're experiencing. And this is something that's always going to continue to happen. It always happens. And nothing changes. And nothing changes because you guys are okay with Democratic racism. Joe Biden, who wrote the crime bill and bragged about it. Joe Biden, who bragged about dramatically increasing the number of people put to death because of the crime bill that he wrote. The Joe Biden who is proud that more people are in jail for non-violent drug offenses than all violent crimes combined. More people are in jail for smoking weed than all violent crimes combined. And Joe Biden wrote that, and he's proud of that. Y'all okay with that racism? But y'all not okay with Donald Trump saying his foolishness. How is either okay? And one's clearly worse if we're being completely honest. Joe Biden writing the crime bill, locking up more black people for smoking marijuana than all violent crimes combined. I'm going to leave a link about that study in the description below. And not even selling drugs. More people are arrested for using marijuana than all violent crimes combined. That racism is much worse than Donald Trump saying he supports more stop and frisk, than him saying build a wall, than him inciting the Capitol riots, which I believe 12 people lost their lives. Joe Biden's crime bill cost millions of black people their lives, literally and figuratively, now that they're sitting in prison. Some died in jail because that's what happened in prison. A lot of people get murdered in prison. So blood is on the Democratic and Republicans' hands. But y'all only ignore the Republicans' blood. Y'all care the blood's on the hands of the Democrats. With a lot of you, it was completely fine with Obama signing the NDAA of 2011 that allowed the government to throw anyone in jail without trial or charge, as long as the government could label you as a terrorist. And they could label you as a terrorist for literally anything. If you boycott, you can be labeled an economic terrorist and you can be put in prison indefinitely. When I was screaming about that in 2011, people didn't care. They said, oh, it's Obama, it's fine, everything's good, everything is okay. But when Trump uses that power Obama gave him, then it became a problem. When he was throwing protesters in Oregon in prison without trial or charge. So it's okay for Obama to sign into law and probably use it, but Donald Trump using it, that's when it becomes a problem. No, it's a problem every single time. But you guys a lot of you are idiots. You're bootlickers. For something, you're not, like I say in many of my videos, you're not part of the team. You're a fan of the team. The Democrats, the people who's part of the team, are those who have money. The Republicans, the people who are part of the team, they have money. If you're not, you're just a fan. Like if you go to a basketball game, a football game, soccer, whatever sport you follow, or baseball, you cheering or you crying, you being happy about them winning, you being happy about them losing, what difference does that make in your life? None, because you're not on the team. So I kind of went off on a little side rant because it's all connected. These things happen all over the country, whether it's in a supposedly liberal state like California, LA, in New York, where Michael Brown and Sean Bell got murdered, in Minneapolis, where George Floyd got murdered, Tamir Rice. This happens all over the country, whether you're in a liberal or conservative state. The police are corrupt. They're terrible. And that's why a lot of people call for defunding the police, even though I wouldn't have made a difference in this situation. Because when people call for defunding the police, they're asking for the resources that go into the police, that militarize the police, to go towards people who actually deal with people with mental health issues. That homeless guy didn't show he had any mental health issues. He was crossing the street and got killed. White people don't get killed for crossing the street. Black people get killed for crossing the street. They get killed for reaching for their wallet. They get killed for playing with a toy gun on their porch. They get killed. There was Ahmaud Arbery. I'm pretty sure. I really hope I'm not butchering it, but I think it's Ahmaud Arbery. I believe this was in Minnesota as well. He was a licensed arm carrier. And he told the police, hey, listen, I have a gun in my car, but I'm licensed to have a gun. And the police officer shot him and killed him right in front of his mom and his child. After he said, I have a legal gun on me. So he didn't get killed because he told the police they had a legal gun. People that reach for their wallet, they didn't get killed because they reached for a wallet. For Tamir Rice playing with his toy gun on the sidewalk, he didn't get killed because he had a toy gun playing on the sidewalk. Sean Bell didn't get killed because he was just backing out of his bachelor party garage. Michael Brown didn't get killed because he was selling cigarettes. Those people all got killed because of their skin color. And nothing will ever change in this country unless the covert racist liberal Democrats, some call themselves progressive. Nothing will ever change unless those people look their own racism in the mirror. So that's all I gotta say for today. Thanks for watching the video. If you like the content, like and subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications so you get all of my videos, because YouTube will not show it to you if you don't do so. There's no word of the day for today because I just had to make this video right now, and it wasn't a planned video. It's just something I had to make and put out there. So again, thank you for watching the video. I really appreciate you. 100% this. Peace.
Well, I've been stacking up. Nah, really that ain't accurate, cause I just spent my whole damn advance in the past couple months just to compensate for times we ain't have enough. Ooh.